Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Point to Ponder. Today we'll continue with the phase 2 of our design and development of a project. Last time, if you remember, we discussed drawing the circuit diagram by various group members and then connecting it. Now, having connected that, you need to apply the design rule checker and the electrical rule checker for drafting and wiring errors, and when this gives you errors, you have to correct these errors. After that, we do software breadboarding using the simulating programs. Previously, if you remember, we used to do was to connect the physical components on the PCB, or you can say Euroboard, etc. physically connect it and with the help of wires, and then you can say test it. And after that, we used to make the PCB and then solder it and finalize it. But now with the advent of software, you basically can breadboard your components with the simulating programs. This gives you the facility to use the power supplies, timings, wave shapes, and certain error messages of timings, logic levels, impedance matching, fan outs problems, etc. When they arise, you can always remove them. Then, of course, hardware design is verified using the software packages, and the models, various models are available in the market. Behavioral model like smart models, gate level models, hardware models, full functional models, QuickSim and SUSE are some of the simulating models available in the market. I, for one, used Simulink in 1997. Now, PSpice, LSIM, and Sabre. Now, PSpice is an analog model, old one, dealing with the analog electronics. After having done that, now you can apply two approaches, adopt two approaches. One is the modular approach and one is the homogeneous, the other is the homogeneous approach. Now, in the homogeneous approach, you start from the beginning and go till end. But that creates the problem. That if, let's say, there is some fault at the end, you have to, start finding fault finding right from the beginning. In the model approach, there are many advantages. One is that you distribute the hardware as well as the software amongst the students, which is basically the requirement in your project examiner also. And other thing is that it basically gives training to all the students, and then later on it is easy for the repair and maintenance and testing of various modules. Now, having done that, you develop the software similarly, and software are also developed by the students for their own modules, and then later on you can interface. You learn basically the interfacing of various modules also, and the hardware as well as the software. Then you test the equipment with the help of emulator. Now, what emulator does is that you connect the empty socket of your microprocessor or the microcontroller, the wiring you do from the emulator, and then you run the software. Now, if your software is correctly run, it gives you the results. Then obviously, software and hardware both are correct. Having done that, you design the PCB. Now, previously we used to take the pencil and a rubber and a ruler and the paper and stencils, etc., and we used to draw the PCB and then got it developed or develop yourself. But now there are various packages which are available, like the Tango PCB, Board Station, Allegro for PCB, etc. You can make the film negatives with the laser printers also. Design pattern can also be produced on the copper plate plated boards. Now, as far as the design of box is concerned, you have to be very careful, and in this I have seen that students are very weak. Number one, it should be watertight. Sufficient holes should be there for airflow to maintain inside temperature for commercial, industrial or military environments. And mind you that these environments are tougher in the ascending order, starting from commercial to industrial and then military. Power sockets, fuses and heat sinks, fans should always be in the rear. Operational knobs like switches, LEDs, meters, keyboards and displays etc. should be on the front. Preferably there should be only one opening, but if not, maximum two, that is front as well as the rear. Now, having developed the PCB, then obviously you basically assemble all the components and then you again run the software, now this time on the real your project, and if the software runs successfully, it means your software and hardware both are correct. But if there is some problem, since you have already verified your hardware as well as the software with the help of software, okay, there will be problem of only soldering, some dry solder or something of that sort. Okay, so this is what I had to say today, and if you follow these two lectures of mine on the design and development of a project, then I'm sure that there will be a lot of originality in your project and you will not fall short of anything. Thank you very much.